Good morning, traders. This is a live trade recap. I took two trades in the pre-market this morning right around 4 a.m. and have them both on video. Basically, the two stocks that I was watching was HOFV and Ncty. They were both top gainers in the pre-market, and they both had low floats. So those were the ones I was watching, and I liked definitely Ncty much better. There was an entry right here, but I missed it. By the time I pulled it up, it was already on this candle or this candle. But you definitely could have entered for the break of this second candle for a 3-bar play, and it did work out. And the HOFV I was still looking at, but it was pretty weak because this chart is deceiving because the high of the aftermarket was actually around here somewhere. And these two charts aren't formed properly right now, and but this thing it kind of opened up lower than the aftermarket, and then it shot up and then sold off. So I didn't really like it too much. Thought it looked kind of weak, so I was just really focusing on Ncty. I was just waiting for a pullback at this point, looking at this like an ABCD pattern. Here's A, here's B. Now I'm waiting for the pullback to C. Actually, B's right there. It went all the way to 850. This is pretty much like a textbook pattern too, right here. How this, and it doesn't always work out, so don't use this as, oh, I'm always going to buy after this, but it just happens to work out here. This is a doji candle, which represents uncertainty, and it could signal a reversal. It could signal a reversal, and it does here, because this is where the trend goes from up to down, actually kind of sideways. So what I was watching, I wanted to see a pullback here, and we did get a little tiny pullback, and I was kind of hoping for more, but you know, the stock gives you what it gives you. So it established this $8 level on these two candles, an $8 high. So I was looking for to enter on the break of that $8 level. So ideally 801 would have been the perfect entry, and you'll see what happens on this next candle. So it goes from 8. Remember, I wanted to get in at 801. The spread is a little bit large. It was at 1 cent, I think, a second ago, and now it's 10 cents, and then boom, shoots up, and I get in immediately. So so I get filled at 826, which is really a function of the spread. It's not true slippage, and it's not a broker thing. Like, it wouldn't have mattered if I was using TradeStation or Lightspeed or, you know, some fancy broker. I still would have had the exact same fill, because that's where the sellers were at that moment. So because I got that fill, or I should say because the spread was the way it was, I wasn't comfortable holding to 2R anymore, because my plan says that I hold to 2R if I get an ideal entry, or at least near ideal entry. And my ideal entry was 801, so somewhere around there, maybe even up to 804, 805, I might have felt brave enough to hold to 2R, but with that much a slippage, I wasn't that comfortable, so I started scaling out. I scaled out when I was 10 cents up, sold half the shares, and then it continued to go higher. I sold one more, because I just wasn't that comfortable with this position. I wanted to be down here, and I'm way up here, so this thing continues to push pretty hard. Obviously, if I would have held more shares, I would have made more money. But once I'm filled very high like that, I just don't feel very good about it. So I just sold one more share for like a 50-cent move. And that was over $1 move right there, but that would have been tough to catch. And at this point, I only have one share, so I'm kind of like, well, let's see how far this thing goes. So then I see it kind of stall out there, and I decide to sell that last remaining share. It does go up quite a bit higher, but and then immediately pulls back down. So that was the first trade. So I think I made $1.96 off of that trade. I can't show you in Webull because I took 2 trades on it, so it won't show you the right thing. I can show you the orders, but there's my P&L on the first trade. I'll show you the orders in just a second. Then, so this thing now establishes a new high, and I consider watching it for the next pullback. So it pulls back to the old high, which is now a support. So this is a decent setup, but to be honest with you, I was a little bit worried about taking this trade because this thing had already moved so much. But technically, this is really only like the second pullback, and like the first real true pullback. So I kind of felt like, let me just give it a shot. And kind of a similar thing happened where I got filled a lot higher than I wanted to. I wanted it to be right around $9 or less, maybe even. Let me see what I recorded my ideal entry, I think. Now I wanted to be $8.92. I got filled at $9.19. So that was again, that's a function of the spread, not the broker. So again, because of that, I'm just thinking, as soon as I'm in the green, let me just get out of this trade because I'm just in it way too high, and I didn't have that much confidence in this thing continuing higher. So there it pops up above my entry, and I go ahead and sell half. Probably should have just sold everything there, but you never know. I guess I wanted to give it a chance to go higher or go back up to where it was. And then as soon as I see it cross down below my entry, I decide to sell all. And luckily I got the pop back up for $9.20. So that was the end of that trade. So altogether it was $202. And yeah, the second trade was essentially a break-even trade. It was only 6 cents P&L, profit. But also notice this: the return on investment was 0.16%. I'm only bringing that up because there's a lot of scalpers out there that those are like their winning trades. Trading with really large accounts, and they're going for 0.1% or 0.2 or 0.3%, and those are their good trades. So just keep that in mind when you see people trading with large margin accounts. I don't think that's really the way to go as far as your return on each trade. You should be looking for really even more than this, because this wasn't an ideal entry, but it should be at least 1%, if not better. Otherwise, it's not sustainable when you take losses that are going to be definitely way more than 1%. So anyway, those are my 2 trades. So at least I'm starting off green, and I'm not really upset about not holding till 2R, even though this one did go to 2R and I could have made $4. My plan says that I hold for 2R as long as I get an ideal entry, which is within a few cents of where I want to get in. So this was my ideal entry. This is where I was actually in the stock at, so I felt okay to scale out of it. So that's it for right now, and then I'll probably be back at the market open. No, I'll definitely be back at the market open, so I'll see you then. Take care.